Liam Carter stood on the observation deck of the orbiting space station and looked down at Earth. The blue planet glowed softly beneath him, peaceful and beautiful, but he knew that peace was fragile. For years, humans had signed treaties with alien civilizations, promising to follow rules set by the Galactic Council. The Council believed humans were weak, unpredictable, and small in the vast universe. But Liam and many others knew that humans had hidden strength, the kind that only came from surviving impossible odds. On Earth, the leaders were divided. Some wanted to obey the Council to keep humanity safe, while others thought that it was time to stand up. Among the leaders, Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller had long believed that humans could not be controlled. They had watched as other civilizations underestimated humans, assuming that Earth would follow instructions like a child obeying a parent. But humans had fought and survived against worse enemies than these aliens. Now the Council was pushing too far. They demanded new restrictions on Earth's technology, limits on space travel, and even control over human research. It was a clear sign that they wanted to keep humans weak forever. Daniel paced the Council chamber, thinking about the fleet that Liam was preparing in orbit. Anna sat quietly at the table, reviewing the Council's demands. She looked up and said, "We cannot sign this. If we do, humanity will remain small forever. We have to act, Daniel." Daniel nodded. "I know. It is dangerous, but we cannot wait any longer." Across the planet, people were working tirelessly to strengthen defenses and prepare fleets. Eric Collins, a skilled pilot, oversaw training missions, while Laura James, a brilliant engineer, worked on adapting old ships for modern combat. Citizens volunteered to help in every way they could, from building new weapons to relaying intelligence. Earth was ready, even if the Council was not aware of it. The day of the Council meeting arrived. Alien leaders appeared in holograms, looking smug and confident. They assumed humans would comply, just as they always had. But Liam, Anna, Daniel, and the rest of the team were prepared. The Council spoke first, demanding obedience and warning of consequences if Earth refused. Liam listened with a calm determination. Anna and Daniel exchanged a glance. Then, in a moment that would echo across the galaxy, Anna tore up the treaty papers in front of the Council's cameras. Daniel stepped forward, saying, "Humanity will no longer follow rules set to limit us. We will decide our own path." Shock spread across the alien faces. No species had ever defied the Council so openly. Liam felt a rush of pride and fear. Pride for what humans were doing, and fear for what might come next. The aliens were furious, sending threats and warnings, but the humans remained calm. Liam and his squad prepared the fleet for possible attacks. They moved silently, checking ships, weapons, and shields. Eric Collins supervised drills while Laura James completed final adjustments on the fleet's engines. Every person involved knew the stakes. Every citizen who volunteered knew that this was a turning point for humanity. The decision to break the treaty was dangerous, but it was necessary. For centuries, humans had survived because of their courage, creativity, and unity. The Council had assumed that humans were small, easy to control, and predictable. They were wrong. Liam looked out at the stars, thinking about the possibilities. The galaxy had never faced humans at their full strength before. Daniel and Anna joined him on the observation deck, and together they watched as the first human ships moved into formation. They were ready to defend Earth, but also ready to show the galaxy that humans would not be ignored. In cities across the world, people followed news broadcasts, seeing the treaty torn up in real time. Some were nervous, others excited, but everyone understood that nothing would ever be the same. Earth had made a choice, and that choice was clear. Humans would no longer be underestimated. Alien fleets might respond with force, and there would be battles. But humanity had prepared for this. Liam checked the ship's controls one last time, feeling the weight of responsibility. Eric and Laura completed the final adjustments, while Anna and Daniel coordinated communications. It was a coordinated effort, a demonstration of what humans could do when united. The first signals of alien response appeared on the monitors. Ships were moving toward Earth, their intentions clear. But Liam and the others were not afraid. Humans had survived wars, natural disasters, and threats from within and outside. This was just another challenge. As the first ships of the human fleet launched into space, citizens watched in awe. Children and adults alike felt pride in their species. For the first time, humans were not seen as small or insignificant. They were seen as capable, determined, and unpredictable. Liam felt the adrenaline rush through him as he led the fleet past the station and into orbit. The The stars stretched ahead full of danger and opportunity. Every move they made sent a message to the galaxy. Humanity would not bow. Anna and Daniel continued to coordinate plans from Earth, ensuring that every defense and every fleet maneuver was calculated. Laura James monitored ship systems, fixing small problems instantly. Eric Collins trained pilots, making sure each crew member was ready. Together, they made sure that humanity was prepared for what was coming. The Council's leaders sent more messages, this time full of threats. They assumed humans would retreat or negotiate under pressure. But Liam and his team knew that humans did not back down. Humans adapted, they fought, and they survived. The moment had come for the galaxy to see that humans were different, strong, and fearless. Across Earth, families watched broadcasts feeling both fear and pride. They knew that wars might come. But for the first time, humanity had taken control of its own destiny. Liam prepared his ship for the next step, a reconnaissance mission near the edges of Earth's orbit. Eric and Laura checked the other ships, ensuring readiness. Anna and Daniel kept communication lines open, coordinating with other leaders and volunteers. The first real test of humanity's defiance was about to begin. And when it started, the galaxy would finally realize that humans could not be ignored, underestimated, or controlled. Humanity had torn up the treaty and there was no turning back. It was the beginning of a new era, a time when humans would define their own future on Earth and beyond the stars. The galaxy did not take long to respond. Alien fleets appeared on the outer edges of Earth's solar system, their ships large and menacing. They sent messages full of anger, threats, and demands. They expected humans to panic, to retreat, or to obey as they always had. But Earth was ready. Liam Carter stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the alien vessels through the main viewport. His crew was tense, but they trusted his leadership. Eric Collins moved through the corridors of the fleet, checking on pilots, answering questions, and giving instructions. Laura James monitored the engines and weapons, making small adjustments to increase efficiency. Every human ship was ready for conflict, but their main goal was to show strength and caution. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated from Earth, speaking to every command center and fleet captain. They made sure that humans would not act recklessly. Humans were not only ready to fight, they were ready to survive and outsmart any opponent. In the first few hours, small skirmishes began near Mars orbit. Humans tested the alien patrols with recon ships. Liam and his team used fast maneuvers to avoid detection, while carefully observing alien tactics. The aliens underestimated human speed and unpredictability. Each encounter gave humans valuable information, and every successful maneuver strengthened confidence. Back on Earth, civilians worked around the clock. Volunteers repaired older ships, built small drones for intelligence gathering, and transmitted updates to the fleet. Eric Collins made sure that training never stopped, even as real threats approached. Laura James improvised weapon systems using available technology, combining different methods in ways aliens could not predict. Every improvement, every small victory reminded humans of their own resilience. Anna and Daniel realized that the alien fleet was cautious. They hesitated, not expecting humans to act with such coordination and bravery. It was a turning point. Humans launched a daring mission to sabotage a supply convoy. Liam led the strike team through tight asteroid fields, evading patrols and approaching the enemy convoy. Using clever maneuvers and improvised weapons, they disabled several ships without losing any of their own. The news spread quickly across Earth. People cheered and celebrated. Even those who had feared war began to feel pride. Humanity was showing that it could fight back and win. The Council, watching from distant sectors, could not understand how humans had become so fast, clever, and unified. Alien commanders whispered among themselves, realizing they had misjudged humans. Daniel Miller studied the reports coming in from every battle and mission. He smiled quietly to Anna Brooks. They think we are weak. They think we will give up. They are wrong. On the ground, ordinary citizens played a vital role. They built drones, repaired satellites, and even created small intelligence networks. Children helped by monitoring signals for unusual activity, learning quickly how to assist. Teachers organized training programs for volunteers, ensuring that knowledge spread fast. Humans had always adapted to challenges, and this time was no different. The alien fleets were large and well-equipped, but humans used strategy, ingenuity, and speed to their advantage. Liam Carter led another reconnaissance mission, this time testing a heavily guarded sector near Jupiter. Using asteroid cover and unpredictable routes, He gathered information that would help future attacks. Eric Collins oversaw the preparation of the strike teams, making sure pilots were ready and confident. Laura James made last-minute adjustments to weapons and shields, often thinking of ideas that the aliens could not anticipate. Every success built confidence. Across Earth, citizens celebrated the victories. Streets were filled with cheers. Broadcasts replayed human successes, and families felt pride in their species. Humans were no longer passive. They were fighters, innovators, and a growing force in the galaxy. Anna Brooks spoke to the council through a secure channel. "You underestimated us," she said. "You assumed we would obey and remain small. We will not. We will protect our people, our planet, and our future." Daniel Miller monitored communications between fleets, ensuring that no message went unheard. Every warning from alien fleets was met with careful planning, not panic. Humans were learning quickly, adapting faster than anyone could expect. As days passed, more daring missions were planned. Supply routes were disrupted, scouting ships were captured, and alien patrols were forced to retreat from areas they considered safe. Humans had become unpredictable and dangerous. Liam Carter led a small team to disable a satellite array that provided alien fleets with navigation data. The mission was risky but successful. The aliens did not know how humans had managed it, and fear began to grow. Eric Collins and Laura James prepared for the next wave of missions. Every human ship was now upgraded and ready. Earth had mobilized completely, and the population supported every effort. The Alien Council tried to intimidate humans with threats of large-scale war. They believed humans would eventually give in, but each human action proved otherwise. Humans fought intelligently, used every tool available, and never gave up. News spread to other alien civilizations. Some began to admire humans, seeing them as clever, brave, and resourceful. Others feared what humans might do next. Earth had become a symbol of unpredictability, courage, and unity. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller held daily meetings with fleet leaders. They coordinated attacks, defenses, and strategies for future missions. Every decision was careful but bold. They knew that humans had to show strength without reckless sacrifice. Liam Carter led another strike mission, this time against a heavily guarded supply hub near Saturn. Using new tactics, humans disabled key systems, forcing the aliens to retreat. Each victory, no matter how small, had a psychological effect on the enemy. Humans were no longer seen as weak or primitive. Civilians continued to help by monitoring communications, building drones, and supporting families of those in the fleet. Communities across Earth worked together to ensure that every mission had the resources needed to succeed. The first major battle in the outer solar system approached. Humans were ready. Liam Carter's fleet moved into position, with Eric Collins leading support ships and Laura James managing weapon systems remotely. Anna Brooks coordinated communications from Earth, while Daniel Miller oversaw logistics and strategy. Every detail was considered. When the alien fleet arrived, they were surprised to see humans organized, prepared, and confident. The battle began with exchanges of small fire, testing reactions and defenses. Humans used speed, intelligence, and unpredictability to their advantage. Every move forced the aliens to rethink their strategy. The fight lasted hours, and while it was not decisive, it sent a message. Humans were no longer passive or weak. Across Earth, citizens watched broadcasts with pride. Children and adults felt hope and determination. Humans had faced a huge threat and shown courage and skill. Alien leaders began to whisper among themselves, realizing that they had misjudged humanity. The Council's arrogance had blinded them to human strength. Liam Carter returned to the observation deck of his ship after the battle, exhausted but proud. Eric Collins congratulated his teams. Laura James reviewed weapon systems, already thinking about improvements. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller spoke over secure channels, coordinating the next phase. Humanity had survived the first challenge and proved that it could fight intelligently, adapt quickly, and overcome larger enemies. For the first time, humans were taken seriously in the galaxy. The aliens could no longer ignore them. Humans had risen from underestimated species to a clever, determined, and united force, and the galaxy was only beginning to see what humans were capable of. The humans had won small victories, but they knew the real challenge was still ahead. The alien fleets were regrouping, repairing their damaged ships and planning larger attacks. Liam Carter stood on the bridge of his flagship looking at the stars. Each point of light was a possible threat, but also a potential opportunity. Eric Collins moved among the pilots, checking that they understood their roles. Every person in the fleet was aware of the stakes. Laura James ran diagnostics on every weapon system, making improvements that could give humans the edge in future battles. Every adjustment, every calculation mattered. On Earth, Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated operations from the command center. They monitored intelligence reports, supply lines, and civilian contributions. People across the planet volunteered, building drones, repairing satellites, and preparing ships. It was a world united behind a single goal, showing the galaxy that humans could not be ignored. Liam Carter led the first attack team on a mission to disrupt the aliens' communications network near Jupiter. Using fast maneuvers, humans avoided detection and disabled several relay satellites. The aliens were confused, unable to predict human tactics. Small victories like this strengthened confidence across the fleet. Eric Collins organized patrols and defense teams around Earth, ready to protect the planet if the aliens attempted a strike. Laura James implemented new energy shields on ships, giving them better protection without sacrificing speed. Every detail mattered. Daniel Miller and Anna Brooks studied alien behavior. They noticed patterns in their movements, weaknesses in their formations, and overconfidence that humans could exploit. Humans used intelligence and creativity, not just brute force, to gain advantages. The next mission targeted a key supply hub near Saturn. Liam Carter led the strike, using asteroid fields to hide the fleet's approach. Humans disabled enemy ships and gathered valuable supplies. The aliens were forced to retreat, shocked by human efficiency and unpredictability. On Earth, civilians celebrated small victories. Families watched broadcasts, feeling pride and hope. Communities worked together to support the fleet. Children helped monitor signals, adults repaired ships, and engineers designed new weapons and drones. Humanity was showing that it could fight together, combining brains, skill, and courage. The aliens tried to intimidate humans with threats, but every warning was met with preparation, not fear. Liam Carter led a daring reconnaissance mission near the outer edges of the solar system. Using unconventional routes and fast maneuvers, humans gathered intelligence that the aliens could not detect. Eric Collins supervised pilot training, ensuring that every crew member was ready for unexpected encounters. Laura James upgraded the fleet's systems based on new information, improving speed, weapons, and defense. Each small improvement gave humans an advantage. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated with Earth's engineers, scientists, and volunteers, ensuring that every plan had support. Humans were learning faster than the aliens expected. The first major battle was approaching. Alien fleets moved toward Earth with larger numbers, intending to overwhelm human defenses. Liam Carter's fleet positioned strategically, ready to respond. Eric Collins organized support teams, Laura James adjusted weapons and shields, and civilians on Earth continued to contribute through logistics, intelligence, and repairs. The battle began near the asteroid belt. Humans used speed and unpredictable tactics to confuse the aliens. Ships dodged attacks, launched counterstrikes, and used asteroid cover to protect themselves. The aliens were frustrated, unable to understand how humans moved so quickly and efficiently. Every victory, every survival built confidence and morale. Human civilians followed the battle closely. Schools and universities coordinated broadcasts to explain tactics and outcomes. Families celebrated when ships returned safely. Children learned quickly, understanding the importance of teamwork and clever thinking. The aliens began to realize that humans were not only brave but also clever, adaptable, and united. Daniel Miller watched reports coming in, nodding at every success. Anna Brooks spoke to the fleet over secure channels. They cannot predict us. They will never understand how we think. Keep moving, keep fighting, and keep protecting Earth. Liam Carter led another mission to disable an alien sensor array near Mars. The fleet moved quickly and silently, avoiding detection. Using clever strategies, they destroyed the sensors and returned safely. The aliens were forced to change their plans, realizing that humans could act faster than expected. Eric Collins prepared for the next strike, training pilots and coordinating support. Laura James made modifications to weapon systems, improving efficiency and adaptability. Civilians continued to build drones and repair ships. Humanity was showing that it could fight on multiple fronts, using both brains and courage. Another daring mission targeted a supply convoy near Saturn. Liam Carter led the strike, moving through asteroid cover and avoiding patrols. Humans disabled several ships and captured valuable supplies. The aliens were shocked by the efficiency and skill of the human team. On Earth, people cheered and celebrated. The message was clear. Humans were no longer passive or weak. They were capable, united, and dangerous. Alien leaders began to whisper among themselves, realizing they had misjudged humans. Their arrogance had been their undoing. Daniel Miller and Anna Brooks coordinated the next steps, preparing for larger operations. Every mission, every attack, every success showed humans that they could survive, adapt, and win. Liam Carter returned to the bridge, exhausted but proud. Eric Collins congratulated his teams. Laura James reviewed weapon systems, already thinking of improvements. Earth had survived the first major battles and proved that humans could fight intelligently, adapt quickly, and overcome stronger enemies. Humans had gained respect, and the galaxy was beginning to take notice. The aliens could no longer underestimate humanity. Across Earth, civilians continued their work, volunteering, monitoring signals, building ships, and supporting families of those in the fleet. Schools, universities, and communities coordinated efforts to ensure that everyone could contribute. Humans were united, clever, and brave. Liam Carter prepared for the next reconnaissance mission. Eric Collins trained new pilots. Laura James improved systems, and Daniel Miller and Anna Brooks coordinated the larger strategy. Humanity was ready for what was coming. The alien fleets would soon engage in larger battles, but humans had shown that they could fight intelligently, move unpredictably, and survive. The galaxy was starting to realize that humans were not weak or primitive. They were a clever, determined, and united force, capable of surprising even the most powerful civilizations. Humans had proven that they could adapt to impossible situations, fight with skill, and work together to overcome challenges. Liam Carter looked at the stars, thinking of the possibilities. Eric Collins prepared pilots for the next mission. Laura James upgraded the fleet, and Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated Earth's defenses. Humanity had risen from an underestimated species to a force capable of shaping its own destiny. The galaxy was beginning to understand what humans could do, and the humans were just getting started. The humans had proven they could fight, adapt, and survive, but the Council was not willing to accept their defiance. Alien fleets gathered in strength, determined to crush Earth and teach humans a lesson. Liam Carter watched the preparations from the bridge of his flagship, tension running through every member of his crew. Eric Collins moved swiftly between the pilots, giving last-minute instructions and encouragement. Laura James ran final diagnostics on the weapons and shields, making adjustments that could mean the difference between life and death. On Earth, Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated the defense and attack plans. Every detail was checked, every possibility considered. They knew the aliens were dangerous, but they also knew humans had one advantage the aliens could never understand: unpredictability and unity. The humans planned a bold strategy. Instead of waiting for the aliens to strike, they would take the fight to the Council's command hub in the Orion sector. It was risky, but a successful attack could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Liam Carter led the fleet toward the outer solar system, moving carefully to avoid detection. Eric Collins oversaw the preparation of strike teams, ensuring every pilot was ready and confident. Laura James checked each ship's systems, making sure weapons and shields were optimized. On Earth, civilians worked tirelessly. Volunteers repaired ships, built drones, and maintained communications. Communities coordinated support for the fleet, providing intelligence, logistics, and supplies. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller guided the operations, ensuring that humans acted with precision and bravery. When the fleet reached the edge of the Orion sector, Liam Carter signaled the attack. Humans moved quickly and silently, using asteroid fields and space debris to hide their approach. Alien patrols were caught off guard, unable to anticipate the speed and cleverness of the human fleet. Liam led a strike team to disable outer defenses, while Eric Collins commanded support ships to protect the fleet's rear. Laura James remotely managed weapon systems, guiding attacks with precision. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated from Earth, monitoring communications and adjusting plans as the battle unfolded. Humans struck with speed and accuracy, bypassing heavily fortified sections and avoiding traps. Alien commanders were shocked by the efficiency and skill of human forces. Every move humans made forced aliens to retreat or change strategy. Civilians on Earth watched broadcasts with awe, feeling pride in their species. Children, teachers, and families cheered for every success. Communities continued to support the fleet, repairing equipment, transmitting intelligence, and building additional drones. The humans' coordination and unity proved unstoppable. Liam Carter's strike team reached the Council's command hub. Using ingenuity and stealth, they disabled key defense systems. Eric Collins' support ships protected the fleet from counterattacks. Laura James guided weapon systems to neutralize critical targets. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller orchestrated the overall strategy, ensuring that every action contributed to success. Alien leaders struggled to respond. They had underestimated human intelligence, courage, and adaptability. For the first time, the Council faced a force it could not control or predict. The humans' daring assault sent a clear message. Earth would not be intimidated or dominated. The battle continued for hours, with humans systematically dismantling the Council's outer defenses. Every success increased confidence and morale. Liam Carter led missions into the command hub, disabling critical systems and capturing important intelligence. Eric Collins coordinated reinforcements and protected vulnerable ships. Laura James continually improved weapons and shields, keeping the fleet one step ahead. On Earth, civilians followed every development, contributing where they could. Volunteers built more drones, repaired returning ships, and prepared supplies for future missions. Humanity's unity and determination were unmatched. Alien fleets began to falter, unable to anticipate human tactics or match their ingenuity. Council leaders were forced to retreat to inner defenses, realizing they had underestimated humans at every turn. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated a final push, instructing Liam Carter and Eric Collins to strike at the heart of the command hub. Laura James guided targeting systems with precision, ensuring that human ships avoided unnecessary risks while maximizing impact. The assault was a success. Critical Council systems were disabled and humans gained control over key sectors. Alien leaders scrambled, unable to respond effectively. The humans' speed, intelligence, and unity had turned the tide. On Earth, people celebrated. Citizens cheered and praised the fleet, feeling pride in their species. Schools, universities, and communities continued to support efforts, understanding that humans had proven themselves capable of shaping their own destiny. Liam Carter returned to his flagship, exhausted but proud. Eric Collins congratulated his teams, and Laura James reviewed systems, already thinking about further improvements. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller prepared for the next phase, knowing that humans had proven themselves as a serious force. Across the galaxy, news spread quickly. Other species began to respect humans, realizing they were not weak, passive, or primitive. Humanity's cleverness, courage, and determination were now well known. The Council, once arrogant and dismissive, had been forced to acknowledge that humans could not be ignored. Humanity had shown that it could fight intelligently, act boldly, and survive against powerful enemies. Liam Carter looked at the stars, thinking of the possibilities ahead. Eric Collins prepared new pilots for future missions. Laura James continued to upgrade systems and develop new technologies. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller ensured that every operation was coordinated, efficient, and effective. Humanity had torn through the Council's defenses and proven that they could not be underestimated. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a species that could survive, adapt, and outthink stronger opponents. Humans had changed the rules of engagement, showing that intelligence, courage, and unity were as powerful as any weapon. The Council was forced to reconsider its approach. Alien leaders whispered among themselves, realizing that their arrogance had blinded them to human potential. Across Earth, people continued their work, supporting the fleet, building ships, transmitting intelligence, and cheering victories. Communities had united like never before, creating a network of cooperation and skill that made humans even stronger. Liam Carter prepared for future missions. Eric Collins trained new pilots, and Laura James continued to improve technology. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated strategy, ensuring that humans acted boldly but carefully. Humanity had reached a turning point. The Council had been challenged, alien fleets had been disrupted, and humans had proven their strength and ingenuity. The galaxy could no longer ignore them. Humans had torn up the treaty, defied the Council, and survived the onslaught. They had shown that they were capable of shaping their own destiny, and the future belonged to those who were clever, brave, and united. The galaxy had begun to recognize that humans were a force to be reckoned with. Liam Carter looked at the stars, knowing that the next battles would be even more challenging, but confident that humans could face them. Eric Collins prepared new pilots, Laura James upgraded the fleet, and Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller ensured that every plan was precise. Humanity had proven itself, and nothing could stop them from defining their own future among the stars. The humans had fought bravely, survived impossible attacks, and proven that they could think faster, act smarter, and work together in ways the Council could not predict. Liam Carter stood on the bridge of his flagship looking at the stars. Every crew member around him knew that the battles had changed everything. Earth was no longer a minor planet in the galaxy. Humans had earned respect, and more importantly, they had earned a place at the table of interstellar affairs. Eric Collins checked on the pilots, making sure everyone was ready for the next stage. Laura James ran final diagnostics on the ships, improving weapons, shields, and engines to make sure the fleet was stronger than ever. On Earth, Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller coordinated with fleets and civilians alike, planning for peace negotiations while still keeping defenses ready. Every detail mattered, every decision had weight, and every human understood the importance of this moment. Alien fleets had retreated to distant sectors. They were damaged, disorganized, and cautious. Their leaders, once arrogant and dismissive, had begun to reconsider their opinions of humans. The Council sent messages, now less threatening and more cautious. Humans had demonstrated courage, intelligence, and unpredictability, and no one could ignore them anymore. Liam Carter led a small fleet to patrol key sectors, showing the galaxy that humans were vigilant and ready for any challenge. Eric Collins oversaw training exercises to ensure that no human fleet would be caught unprepared. Laura James implemented improvements that made ships faster, stronger, and smarter. Civilians continued their work on Earth, building drones, repairing ships, and maintaining communication networks. Every person contributed, making humans a united and powerful force. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller began negotiating with the Council, demanding recognition, freedom to develop technology, and protection for Earth and its colonies. The Council had no choice but to agree. Humans had shown that they could not be bullied, ignored, or underestimated. Across the galaxy, other species began to respect humans. Some sought alliances, while others simply observed, realizing that humans were clever, brave, and capable of shaping their own future. On Earth, people celebrated. Streets were filled with joy. Schools taught the story of the battles, and communities took pride in how humans had worked together to protect their planet. Liam Carter looked at the stars, knowing that exploration and diplomacy awaited. Eric Collins trained the next generation of pilots, while Laura James designed new ships and technologies. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller continued negotiations, ensuring that Earth would be treated as an equal among civilizations. Humanity had torn up the treaty, defied the Council, and survived. They had shown the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and unity were more powerful than arrogance and strength alone. The humans' actions had changed the rules of engagement forever. Alien fleets, once confident, were now cautious. The Council, once dismissive, now spoke with respect and hesitation. Humans had proven that they were capable of defending themselves, shaping their destiny, and earning their place in the galaxy. Liam Carter prepared the fleet for peaceful patrols, ensuring that Earth remained safe while humanity expanded its influence. Eric Collins trained pilots for exploration and defense. Laura James worked on new technologies that would make humans stronger and more adaptable. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller negotiated trade agreements, alliances, and protections for colonies. Every action reinforced the idea that humans were no longer passive. They were leaders, innovators, and a respected species in the galaxy. News of humanity's victories and clever strategies spread quickly. Children learned about the courage of humans, the ingenuity of engineers, the skill of pilots, and the wisdom of leaders. Civilians felt proud to be part of a species that had overcome threats far greater than themselves. Liam Carter reflected on the journey. From the first act of tearing up the treaty to the successful battles in space, humanity had proven that it could survive, adapt, and triumph against impossible odds. Eric Collins and Laura James stood beside him, proud of the fleet they had helped build and train. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller continued negotiations with confidence, knowing that Earth's future was secure. Across the galaxy, humans were now taken seriously. Alien civilizations had begun to respect, fear, and admire them. The Council, once dismissive, now acknowledged that humans could not be controlled or ignored. Humanity had reshaped the galaxy's perception of them. Earth was no longer a small, overlooked planet. It had become a center of diplomacy, innovation, and strategy. Humans were ready to explore, protect, and lead. Liam Carter looked at the fleet preparing for the next mission. Every ship, every crew member, every civilian supporter was part of the story. Eric Collins coordinated training and logistics, while Laura James continued to improve technologies. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller guided strategy and diplomacy. Humanity had risen from a species underestimated and overlooked to a force that shaped its own destiny. The galaxy had watched and finally understood. Humans were clever, brave, and united. They had torn up a treaty, fought powerful enemies, survived battles, and earned respect. Earth was safe, the fleet was strong, and humanity was ready for the future. The story of survival, courage, and intelligence spread across stars, inspiring humans and alien civilizations alike. Liam Carter knew that the journey was only beginning, but humans had already proven themselves. Eric Collins prepared the next generation. Laura James created new technologies, and Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller ensured that Earth's position in the galaxy was secure. Humanity had shown that it could challenge powerful enemies, survive the impossible, and win. The galaxy now recognized humans as a species to respect, fear, and admire. Earth had become a symbol of courage, intelligence, and unity. Humans had torn up the treaty, fought for their freedom, and survived against all odds. They had earned a place in the galaxy, and no one would ever underestimate them again. Liam Carter looked out at the stars, feeling hope and determination. Eric Collins watched over the fleet, ready for anything. Laura James continued to innovate, building a future of strength. Anna Brooks and Daniel Miller guided diplomacy, ensuring that Earth would never be ignored. Humanity had changed its destiny, and the galaxy had finally taken them seriously.